Hey everybody. I chose to do this episode in the dark because, for one, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. But I needed to talk about a few things. One of the things that I don't understand that some siblings do, um, and this is not in my family, but I've noticed in celebrity families. Can you respect them when they say they don't want to talk about something? It don't make any sense when a person says, "Listen, this is my birthday. I don't really want to be bothered," and instead they want to attack. And I'm not trying to put the bees on the line, but I don't like this. I was watching uh, Braxton Family Values, and I know this is old, but I'm just saying my biggest issue sometimes even watching the show is just because I just feel like nobody has a right to tell somebody what to do. And this is not to bash nobody, but Trina was going through a really bad divorce with Gabe. And I felt bad for her because there was a lot of stuff going on. Listen, nobody can tell you what to do in your marriage except for you and God, and that should be it. Everybody else can make comments, but shouldn't. Because here's the thing about it, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and tell somebody, when someone says, I think I saw stuff but chose to ignore, okay, that was them. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. You got kids, you see that a situation is going sour. Um, to be honest with you, you got children. So yeah, you can say all day long, oh, this and that and the third, and you want to do stuff. But honestly, I don't think Trina wanted to be by herself because some stuff was going down. Her kids, you got one kid that's probably in college and another kid that's about to get ready to go to college because, you know, they're teenagers. So she's trying to stay married because, for one, people, I don't know what it is about society and people that are single moms, but we're so freaking ridiculous when it comes down to people that are single parents. And I'm just watching this episode of her birthday and I kind of got irritated because I was like, I know this is old, but I'm just saying, like, who gives you the right to tell somebody to pay attention to something? My situation is, you guys got mad when Tamar said stuff about y'all's husbands. If we're gonna call a spade, we gotta be honest. You guys got agitated when Tamar in the first season said stuff about y'all's husbands. Y'all was pissed. Y'all didn't want to talk to her. Y'all felt like she thought she knew everything because she was married to Vince and her life was actually successful, and everybody's was like either at a standstill or trying to get successful. You cannot sit there and talk about anybody's husband when, let's be real, Tony's husband, I mean, from what we hear from the streets, he allegedly cheated on her. Not only did he cheat on her, he found every reason to, like, not be with her because of being sick. He didn't get a job. He just wanted to be a pretty boy. Not to bash nobody's husband, but this is just what I'm saying. For you to sit there and tell her you should have been paying attention, that's like me telling Tony, how come you didn't pay attention to the fact that the only reason why he married you was because of money? And I can't say that. The reason why they don't say nothing to Tracy is because Tracy, even though she has issues, even though they had infidelities, even though sometimes they get on each other's nerves, they have been married the longest. Why? Because unfortunately, while everybody was chasing a check and trying to chase this fabulous dream style life, she was trying to raise her son. Here's the truth about it. In 1995, yeah, they got offered a record deal. Let's remember when Tony was talking about getting the sisters on a label, she was doing that because they didn't get a label when she got signed in 94. 1995, they got signed, but she couldn't get signed because she was pregnant. Now the thing about it that people don't understand is that some labels will say stuff like that, and she basically, it was the label that said you either have your baby or have this. For almost, I don't know how many seasons, they have asked her. For how many seasons? They have asked her over and over and over. They've asked her. They have asked her multiple times, hey, what's going on? That's what they've asked her. They have asked her that more than once. They said, "Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to understand something. Why this, that, and the third?" And yeah. So my issue with the whole situation is, who are you to tell them to sit there and you can't have a baby because of this? Well, that's the label. But here's the thing: after they got signed, everybody started acting different because when that money hit right, you don't want to sit there and listen to your sister. So when Tracy was basically trying to tell her sisters, "Hey, I feel left out," and stuff like that, it's not like she wanted to be a part of the singing the whole entire time. It's the fact that she felt like you guys just basically, once y'all started knowing famous people, y'all treated me any kind of way because, for one, I'm still in Baltimore and I don't have the success that you guys do. But to sit there and say that she chose to ignore something, you don't have a right to sit there and tell somebody about them. You don't. You don't have a right to say anything about anybody's marriages because here's the thing, especially any of them. Because Tony's husband basically lived off her when she got sick, up and left, was cheating the whole entire time she was at work. Andre probably was cheating all the time. Only thing he knew how to do was babysit them kids and never got a job. Then you got Trina's husband. Yes, he was a psychopath and stuff, but you got to understand, and I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm saying I didn't understand the relationship until I got a little older because I'm like, she tried to leave. Look how many times she tried to leave. And because she tried to leave, he played the guilt trip. And see, that's the thing that people don't understand. When you have a manipulator, they always want to play the guilt trip like, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to do this if you leave, because they want full control. So for you to sit there and say, for the sisters to sit there and say, the two of them to sit there and say, well, you decided to overlook the fact that he was an a-hole. And then when Trina was, or not Trina, when Tamar at that point was like, you can't always listen to the masses because they're biased, and everybody was looking at her sideways. I'm looking at her like, that's the best time to just keep your mouth shut because Tony, of everybody, really shouldn't be saying anything. You are married to somebody that, first of all, didn't really want you in the first place. The only reason why they wanted you is because of the money that you had. That's what I'm saying. And then Tamar's situation, she was married, but only got married to him because he was a record label, because she wanted her music off the ground. Only person that really loved the person, but sometimes they have issues, is Tracy. But even that was even told that the only reason why he got married to her was because she was pregnant. Now that's messed up if that's how you feel. But my thing about it is, you don't tell anybody how they handle their husbands, and your life is a shamble. You know what I'm saying? And especially with Tawanda, because, and this is not a slam towards her because I like her, but in this episode I was irritated because I'm like, you the last person need to be saying anything about anybody. You out of everybody still trying to get a job, still trying to figure out stuff, and still trying to get your life together. And this is not being disrespectful. This is being honest. I mean, you got a boyfriend now, but y'all still in financial situations. And if he really loved you, like he claimed to love you, instead of just having sex with you, he would sit there and get him a job, a real job, knowing that his girlfriend is struggling and trying to work things out. He would physically help you instead of having a YouTube show. This is no disrespect for them. Honestly, this is just me coming from my heart because I was just mad at season 4. Like, this is old, but I'm just saying, the truth is the truth. You don't have a right to tell anybody how to handle somebody's situation when they told you they didn't want to talk about it, when they told you they was uncomfortable talking about it because they got to deal with the fact that they made a bad decision. They already feel some type of way, and you gonna sit there and have the audacity to get on the stage and get on the thing and act like your life is so much better. But y'all husbands, I mean, didn't your husband didn't just cheat on you with one of your sisters, allegedly? Like, in the streets talk. You know what I'm saying? And being Tony V. Braxton, you're not always home. You know what I'm saying? So that's half the reason why, even with Whitney Houston, when she was still alive, Bobby was a mess. That's why I'm looking at him like he don't deserve nothing. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but you had the best wife in the world and you decided just to be a drug addict, acting a fool and carrying on. You decided to screw your life over. I mean, so did Whitney at times, and she knew she had a problem. She knew what she was doing. But the thing about it is, Whitney was in love with you, and you decided to be a jerk. And don't nobody want to be bothered with that stuff. And that's the thing that kills me about people in Hollywood. You were the last you don't have a right to sit there and say nothing. I'm gonna be honest. Even Will Smith. My thing is, Will, he's a cool dude. But you knew you should have just stayed with your first wife, to be real. You didn't have to sit there and mess with another woman, but that's what you decided to do. Now that your now wife is sitting there messing with August and trying to make it like it was an entanglement, girl, please get the heck out of here. You had sex with a younger boy because you wanted to feel good, because your husband was getting all the attention. His career is more successful than yours. Your kids are basically either strung out or doing something every time you turn around. One of them trying to be a boy, the other one trying to cut their penis off. It's always some stupidness. Now, if that person wants to be gay, that's on them. But I'm saying for y'all to sit there and comment on somebody, it's just like the situation with Kevin Hart and Little Nas. Kevin Hart, was upset with Nas because they were trying to figure out why he was gay and stuff. And I'm looking at him, at least he's honest about his gayness. Some people don't even know how to talk about their gayness. Some people are still married to a gay person. Exactly. So, to be real, nobody should say anything about anybody's marriage. And I say that, and the reason why I get so mad is because I remember sometimes when my mom was trying to date somebody and they were too concerned about the first marriage. Listen, people make mistakes all the time. And I don't say anything, but I've watched some of y'all niggas. And I'm going to be honest. You can like my mom. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you come at her respectfully. And I'm going to always be the bulldog in the background because I'm not going to sit there and let you just come into her life and make her do whatever she ain't supposed to be doing. Let her be the woman. You know what I'm saying? You can have her heart and you can have a whole lot of stuff as long as you just be the woman. But I'm just gonna tell you, as long as you let her be the woman, but I'm just gonna tell you, there's certain stuff that she's not gonna allow you to do. Period. There's something she'll allow you to do, something she won't allow you to do. And like I had to stop my friend because they were trying to make it seem like, well, she's not a healthy. If I told you 4 or 5 times that she had a stroke, if I told you that she was going through a lot of stress, what do you think that's going to do? If you had a massive stroke, a massive sharp pain in your head, what the hell do you think that means? That's what I'm saying. People be acting like people just be exaggerating. I get it if I was over exaggerating, but when stuff is really causing me pain, I'm just saying, y'all lazy up here. The truth is the truth. Y'all freaking lazy. Y'all choir system is lazy. The medical field, the business field, everything is lazy up here. But for you to sit there and come at her sideways and try to figure out what she did in her marriage, but you sitting here flirting and cheating, that's the thing I don't like about men. Not all men, but especially men in my mom's age group, because they full of shit. And the reason why I say that is because I remember I was dating this man and he was in his 40s and he got on my nerves because he tried to act like I was offending him, and I'm like, dude, you basically live in the hood. Don't even sit there and try to act like you're so prestigious. You still haven't even fixed the brakes on your car, and you got the audacity to sit there and act like you're gonna get something. Talking about, do you have money? I'm not saying that you have to spend money on me every single time. I'm saying if you said that you want to see me, then maybe you should be the man and come and see me. First of all, what is wrong with y'all that y'all think that we got to do everything? I'm trying to figure out who's the man in the relationship, me or you, because the last time I checked, I don't have a dingaling. I have two female parts that's supposed to control whether I have a baby or not. And I think it's really stupid that you would even put yourself in a position where you would think it's okay for me to sit there and have to do all this stuff. Like, who is in the relationship? Because I feel like guys in this generation, the only thing they want to do is screw. That's it. Like, don't nobody want to settle down. By the time they settle down, it's because you got the money. It's like, what happened to you wanting to be a business person? I get it. It's hard being a black man because, the police is out here shooting. But my thing about it is, here's how you deal with it. Stop freaking sagging. Look appropriately. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it'll stop altogether, but I'm saying if you know that you ain't supposed to be in certain neighborhoods, don't make it obvious. You know what I'm saying? If you know that places are not safe, stay home. I don't care what the situation is. Somebody should have told y'all you don't wear your hood on your head, especially if you in the South. Look like something. I don't care if you gotta buy scrubs, do anything where you don't look like you're just a basically you just look stupid. At a certain age, don't be sagging. Pull your pants up. Become somebody other than just the latest rapper. Because here's the problem: the stuff that y'all be following in these music industries, they killing you because of who you follow. Basically. So the fact that y'all just want to think it's cute to have 67 baby mamas and don't want to take care of one responsibility, but you want to have sex with her, I don't think that's cool. If you bring a woman into the world, I mean, if you bring a baby into the world, you're responsible for how you deal with that person. Period. I don't want to be bothered with that. That's why I told this one dude. He was like, this one guy, his name was Wavo. He wanted to talk to me and everything. I said, dude, you got 6 kids. There's nothing wrong with it. But I ain't trying to be mama number 7. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I'm going to sit here and have kids with somebody, I'm going to be married. I'm not about to sit here and boom, and that's how it works. I might have a fling or two because I'm just being bored, but don't nobody feel like going through that. That's why I was mad at like I say all of this to say I just feel like women do not have a right to be judging other women about a divorce if you didn't handle your own situation any better. You don't have a right to sit there and fuss at somebody if you don't know how to handle it. Okay, so when I talked about Trina, Trina is the sensitive one in the family, and honestly, they are the most jealous of her even now because she's actually married to somebody that's not gonna let her down. He's actually working. He actually has a job. He actually wants to see the marriage do something. Everybody else that they have dated basically ain't nothing. David, he had his own business, but that's the reason why it's best to marry not a rich person. Marry somebody that's not going to put you down. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. And nothing against African people, but let's just be real. From a spiritual side, y'all don't worship one God. Y'all be worshiping whatever y'all be worshiping. No disrespect. And then wonder why there's always a conflict. You cannot, the Bible said, the house, how can a house, that's the biggest part of my question. How can a house stand? A house that is divided cannot stand. That is the word. How is it that it can stand if one person is doing this and another person is doing that? That's why they always say you got to be equally yoked when it comes down to the person that you in love with. You know what I'm saying? And you got people who basically don't even understand what it is. Like, I don't have no disrespect to African people. African people are beautiful. I love their culture. Here's my only issue. You can't expect me, and this is no disrespect, but I've dated a lot of African men, and a lot of them have been from Nigeria. And nothing against them. The women, I think, are a whole lot nicer than the men because African women, they know how to work. They real smart. You know what I'm saying? They sweet. But something about them men, they just get a little beside themselves. That's nothing against them. But don't nobody feel like being bothered with that, to be honest with you, because it's not all of them, but some of them that I've dated, like I've had one of them that just basically was mad because I wasn't going to let him slide on stuff. He was like mad because he was like, let me see some pictures. And I said, no. I said, don't you think that your wife would be upset? And he was like, well, we've never had sex. You're a good friend. You wasn't saying that a few minutes ago when you wanted to see a picture of me. That's what I'm saying. People do what they want to do. And then all of a sudden, I'm a pig, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not going to sit there and talk about me like that. So just because I've had men say you've never had African ding ding, I'm like, listen, here's the problem with some of y'all. Dick does not make you a man. Just because it swings low and it's long and you think you can do something in the bedroom, that don't make you a man. What makes you a man is when you take care of your responsibilities. Yeah, it's cool if you can pound, pound, pound. You can pound all day long, but if you ain't paying them bills, if you're not taking care of your wife and kids, you might as well pound yourself to the unemployment office. And that's why Mary had a little lamb, because I don't give a crap how good that ding ding is. You're not gonna sit here and act like you gonna just pound me away and you can't pay no bills. I mean, that's the reason why I didn't understand the relationship with David and Tamar. David should be saying the last thing. If you're gonna sit there and love her, you need to be there for her. You know what I'm saying? If you, whether, I mean, my thing that really pissed me off is the fact that they were in a relationship and she was trying to do a reality TV show, and instead of you building her up, you're tearing her down. She's already upset the fact that she had, the best life in the world, and then all of it fell apart. And then you're going to come and talk to your sister talking about how they're completely different. Maybe they are completely different, but guess what? You're completely different too, and you would be offended if somebody said something about you being from Nigeria. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You would be very pissed off if somebody said, oh, but Nigerian men. You'd be angry about that. But you got to be honest. You guys can be very, very rough. And this is not any African men. It's just, man, it's just the fact that, just be honest. Dating people from another country, y'all don't respect women at all. And I get it that women should be respectful to their husbands, but here's the thing. Just because you're the husband does not mean you're God. You are the priest of the home. That's what the Bible says, but that doesn't mean you get to sit there and make me clean the dishes and that my kids could talk to me any kind of way, because here's what I'm not going to do. I don't care who I marry. Let that kid come talk to me crazy, I'm going to knock him in his forehead, because what you're not going to do after I carried you for 9 months, sit there be disrespectful. I'll beat the stew out of you. I don't care. That's how I was raised. You don't disrespect the people that brought you in this world. Period. If you want to be disrespectful, then go find a place to pee in, basically. I used to be told that all the time. Sabrina, you don't even have a pot to piss in. You over here being disrespectful. Period. I was raised different. My mama old school, you know what I'm saying? She don't play that bull. If she said come home at a decent hour, that's what she's expected. Even though I'm 24, she don't want you, she don't like the disrespect at all. I don't care how old I get, if I'm being disrespectful, she has a right to say something about it. It's the same thing with my dad. I don't like everything he do, but if I get disrespectful with him, he has a right to correct me because I'm his daughter. So it is what it is. And then when I see people from the foreign languages and whatever place they are, and you just seeing these kids yelling at their mom, man, I wish the hell I would yell at my mom like that. She slapped me to kingdom come. Shoot, and I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. Folks from other countries, you be giving these kids too much liberty, and just because you a man, I don't care if you 13, I'll knock your teeth out. You not gonna sit there and talk to me if I carried you for 9 months. I don't give a flying none. You're not going to sit there and be disrespectful to me. All the pain that women have to go through with giving birth. You got to stitch up basically your hoo-ha just so you can pee. And you can't pee a certain way because they give birth to you. And you're going to have the audacity to be a boy just because you're a boy. You can talk to me any kind of way. I'll slap you and your daddy. I don't give a crap. Because what we're not going to do, and that's the thing that people got to understand from the Middle East, you don't have a right to tell somebody who has kids what they can and cannot say. I was so mad at the little Indian boy. I was pissed. I was trying to make them a food, and this boy, not even no older than 8, gonna sit there and turn around and say, go get me something to drink. Nigga, get off your butt and get your own drink. I don't sit there and talk to your mom like that. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. That's just how I don't sit there. I'm like, no, you need to teach this little boy how to respect women. Because here's the thing. Yes, men are the head of the household, but that's your mama. And if you can't respect your mama, ain't nobody gonna marry you. I don't give a crap what the situation is. Nowadays, you're gonna get shot talking to somebody like that. I'm just saying, it's the truth. That's the reason why y'all be having kids that be blowing up stuff, and we be having kids that just get shot by the police, and that's about it. So we don't do that stuff. You don't sit there and talk disrespectful at all. Like if you want to sit there and be disrespectful, and I ain't gonna lie, I had to tell a couple of kids. I'll never forget when we was at PetSmart. I had to tell this girl, I'm like, you're not gonna talk to my mama like that. She's like, show me your ID. I was like, you can say please. And she was like, no, well, the policy, we got to show the ID and all this other stuff. Here's the issue. If you don't have this, we can't help you. So what are you here for? I said, you might want to lower your tone. I know that much because I know you ain't no older than me. And what you're not going to do with your little Flintstone behind is sit here and talk to my mama like you know her like that. If I damn sure can't talk to her like that and I'm 24, you hell can't freaking talk to her like that. The hell you will. You'll be the next pet in PetSmart. How about that? Sit there and talk to her like that. Go sit there and talk to my mom like that. Listen, let me explain something. I'm the daughter. I am the only person that is supposed to be giving my mama gray hair. That's it. That mean the insurance company can't be talking to her sideways. That mean if she needs something from the doctors, you don't need to be talking to her sideways. I don't give a damn what she did. That's my mama. If you're going to be sitting there talking to her, taking care of her, you better be respectful because if you don't, you're going to deal with me and I'm going to snatch you, period. And if I snatch you, I'm going to snatch you. I ain't got time for that stuff. I barely can handle the stuff that she do to me, but you're not going to sit there and make her mad at me because you don't know how to talk to her right. She ain't going to snatch you because she older, she don't have that patience, but I will snatch you. And I'll make sure the snatch is good and you fall to your face. What you are not going to do, and that is just me. That is me as a Taurus. You could make me mad all day long, but if you bother the people I love, I'm going to get very violent. And I have a right to be. It's just like if I have children. That's why I didn't talk to Greg because I was angry with him. He gonna sit there and say he want to make sure the baby look like him. I said I don't give a crap. He's like, you don't realize that the baby basically could be around me more. I said no, because I'm not gonna sit here and confuse my child or why their dad is basically in the closet. I'm not going to do that. If we're going to be raising children, you need to be straight. And there's nothing wrong. And now I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the LGBTQ community, but this is just a preference for me. So I'm sorry that you don't agree, but this is my preference. I'm not raising no kids that are going to be confused. If you decide to do that in your life, that's what you decide to do. But you need to know who you are first before you could just be like, oh, I'm gay. No, you need to know who you are first. You need to be able to count. You need to be able to know how to write. You need to be able to know how to wipe your butt good before you can even sit there and talk about you like little boys sticking stuff in your butt. Period. Or little girls just basically rubbing tacos. Like, don't nobody got time for that. I'm just saying, if that's what you want to do when you get grown and you 18, that's on you. But I'm just saying, you got to be careful what you be getting involved into because you don't really know what's going on. Like, I get it. But, and I understand why love is love, but I'm just saying when you a kid, you need to know who you are first. I'm not going to sit there and be okay with no kid sitting there saying, oh, I'm gay. You don't even know what that means. Shoot, in the 1930s, it meant happy. Shoot. I ain't about to sit there and sit there trying to explain to no kid why he think he gay. No, you need to learn who you are first, and then when you think you ready and you grown out of my house, then you can do whatever you want to do. But you better be wearing pants. You better not be wearing no skirt. That's all I'm gonna say. That's gonna be the rule. You can wear a skirt to your own place, but you better be wearing pants as soon as I see you, and now lip gloss in sight. And that's honest. Like, there's nothing wrong with you doing what you're doing, but you don't do that stupidness here around me. I mean, it's it. I mean, I think that's a preference. Like, I get it. If that's what you want to do, and everybody is turning gay, and I get it. I don't believe nobody is born gay. The only people I believe that are born with both sexes, that's a hermaphrodite, and you gotta read. If you've known you've been liking little boys or liking little girls all your life, that's because you knew that you were going to be that way. You wasn't born that way because God never intended for anybody to like the same sex. There's a big difference. Whether you believe in God or not, that is the truth. Nobody is born anyway. Nobody's born any gender. You are what you have. Now, if you happen to be a woman that has genitalia that is not of a woman, then that is what I guess God decided to do. So everything that God makes is great in his own divine order. So you can't get mad if he does what he decided to do. I'm just saying, if you're going to be honest about being gay, just tell the truth. I hate when people say stuff like that because you were not born that way. If you have both sexes in you, if you know this, if you knew, then you knew you were going to be gay. It is a choice, period. I don't care what anybody says. You can choose to like somebody. You can choose not to like somebody. If that's what you choose to do, that is a choice. We don't choose to be black. You know what I'm saying? So when people try to compare the gay population to being black, that's helly disrespectful, especially to the people who grew up around the civil rights movement, because they did not choose to be black. They just were black. So you can't compare a gender situation to being born a certain way. If you feel like you were born that way, God bless you, that's it. But the thing about it is, I'm always love you and support you, but the thing about it is you got to respect people and their opinions. People are not going to always agree with you. And my biggest issue with that community is that the first thing they want to sit there is attack the Bible. And the reason why they attack it is because they know it brings down conviction. Because they know that the Holy Spirit is going to it's going to bring you to subjection, because God is a serious God, period. Period. Listen, there's days I've questioned my sexuality all the time, and I've had fun doing some stuff. But I'd rather be with a man because, first of all, I don't feel like dealing with another female. And that's the truth, because women do too much, and I got an attitude sometimes. And for me, I'll punch you in the face if you get on my nerves, especially if you're a female, or I'm beating the hell out of you. Period. Because I don't feel like being bothered with you. You sitting there doing too much, I'm going to knock the stew out of you. Because now, you basically on my territory. Now I can physically fight you because I can't hit a man, but I'll sure hell beat the shit out of you. And that's period. And I'm not trying to cuss and do all this extra stuff, but I'm just being real. Like, nobody feel like going through all that extra with you. Like, nobody feel like telling you, hey, stop touching me, but you want to keep cuddling me. Like, bitch, I'll knock the fuck out of you. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, go somewhere. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I know I just said something about the Lord, but I'm just saying this is just really me. Like, don't come at me sideways if you don't know me like that. Like, please don't. Like, if you don't know me like that, just don't come at me sideways, because it's just not a good idea. I'm not a fighter like that, but I just don't like people that always say, well, you being disrespectful to the gays. No, the disrespect is the fact that you think that everybody's supposed to basically be okay with the fact that you like the same sex. The problem is the fact that you think that everybody is supposed to be okay with what you choose to do. That is your choice. Nobody gives a damn. If you decide to bump tacos, that's what the fuck you decide to do. But don't sit there and call me a Bible thumper because I have my own preferences, period. Nobody feel like going through that. Nobody feel like fucking going through that. I don't feel like going through that. Nobody feels like going through that at all. Like, to be real, like, why would the fuck would you want to be bothered with that shit? Like, that's what I'm just saying. So, what are you expecting me to do? What the hell do you expect me to do? Like, really, tell me what you expect me to do to sit there and explain something about basically being bisexual. I'm not going to condemn you, but I'm not going to sit there and say that you were born that way. So you can't get mad at me for having a preference. If you want somebody, that's what I'm saying. It's all about respect. If you want somebody to respect you and your wishes to be with the same relationship, then you need to respect other people's opinions as well. Because it's not fair for everybody just to be oh for the gay and you're not for people that are Christian too. It's disrespectful. It really is disrespectful. Because